What's up? Today we're going to be talking about the pixel perfect website and funnel design builder that is inside the Builderall platform. Boom! What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Matt and Mac Show. My name is Matthew Miles. Thanks so much for joining us. Today we're going to be talking about the pixel perfect website and funnel design builder that is inside the Builderall platform. The Builderall platform is the complete digital marketing tools package. Absolutely love it. And if you have not done so yet, please remember to click the like and subscribe button, punch that little bell, turn on notifications so that you can get notified when we post future value-packed content. With that said, let's jump on into the video. Boom. Okay, so here we are inside of our Builderall dashboard. This is a list of all the crazy tools that Builderall includes on the left-hand side. And what we're going to be looking at today is right under here. So if you click on Builders and then click on Drag and Drop Pixel Perfect, you have a couple options right here. The first option is a new website or new sales funnel, or go to your pre-saved sites. If you want to click one of these, you can go to Builderall has actually built out thousands of pre-done for you website templates. And so they have templates for every single category that you can really imagine as far as business goes out there, from blogs to restaurants to internet marketing, etc. They also have pre-done for you sales funnel templates. So if you're new to designing stuff and digital marketing, this is a cool place to start, because you can go in here and just select one of these and then edit the pre-done for you thing. So if you don't have a great idea of how to lay anything out, you can really just go into one of these and just start kind of changing text, changing pictures, etc. I already have some of my own funnels and websites built, so to access those, you then go to the Drag and Drop Pixel Perfect and then just go to My Sites, which will take you over to this page with a list of your sites. And the one that I'm going to be using in our demonstration today is going to be the Matt and Mac Show's homepage as soon as I get it done here. So this is one that I'm currently editing, and we're going to use this for the demonstration today. We're going to go through and explain what all of the different tools in this Pixel Perfect website builder are. So we're going to start right over here at the top right, and if you see this first button right here, this is a brand new button, and this kind of takes you over to an entirely different page, which is another Builderall dashboard for your store. And we go into that much deeper in the e-commerce video. So if you are more interested in that than the Pixel Perfect, jump on over to that video. That's on our channel. Okay, moving right along. This right here is, of course, the Save button. And when you click on this, it's going to have, first time that you click on this, it's going to say, Save your website as. And this is where you can name your website. Every other time, obviously, it's just going to give you a quick autosave. And then once you name and save your website, you would come back over to your dashboard here, and then Builders, Drag and Drop Pixel Perfect, My Sites, and then your website will be saved right here. So that is really cool to know. If and once you have it saved, you must then go to More Options right here, and then click Publish to get your website live on the internet out there for other people to go to. And once you do click Publish, then, here I'll give you a little example real quick. This is the live version of the website, not the editable version. Once you do this, in order to get people to come to your website or sales funnel, all you have to do is share this address up here in the URL box. So if you text this to anybody, email it, post this link on Facebook, anything like that, when somebody clicks on that or punches it into a new tab on their computer, that will take them over to your website or funnel. That is the Save button. This next button that we have right here is the Preview button. So as you're in your editable version of your website, maybe you want to see how it looks out there in the real world. So we click on this, and this will give you a demonstration of what your website will look like once it is live on the internet. As you notice, we have none of the menu bars around the outsides, none of the rulers or anything like that. This is what your website will look like once it's live. Some cool stuff going on there. Anyways, just the preview button, simple enough. I'm going to go back on over to the editor. Real quick note about the preview. This is a great tool for a quick look, but if you have any dynamic things that are happening beyond the 2D version of it, it's always good to go back into your dashboard and then go to the live version of your website, which you can do by clicking more options, clicking publish, and then just clicking on the blue. If it's not live, it'll be black. Once you click publish, it'll turn blue right here, and then you can just click on it. That'll take you to the live version of your website. So always good to be checking back and forth. And always remember, save is your friend. Keep saving as much as you possibly can. If you ever leave your funnel or website to go answer messages, or if you're going to go take a lunch break or whatever, make sure you click save all the time. It's a good habit to start getting into with doing this, because there's nothing as terrible as putting an hour or two into designing something like this, leaving and coming back to find out that your computer crashed or something and that you lost all that work. All right, next we have this little button right here, and this is your Gridlines button. And if you select this button, you'll see that these lines right here pop up. And what these lines are a representation of everything that is going to be seen on your live version of the website. So as an example right here, in 1240 by 940 pixels, this W would be kind of hanging off the edge of the screen. So when you are editing a website and you have it set, see the grid lines are right here, you want to make sure that everything that you design stays within those grid lines. That's an important thing to know, especially as we're in a world now that has smartphone screens versus tablet screens versus computer screens. All information inside of these lines will just be displayed across all of those different, everything will be displayed correctly within these lines across all of those different screens. Next, we have this button right here. This is our rulers button, which is a great tool to use for editing, not only so that you can kind of eyeball distances, but if you want to get anything lined up perfectly, like say we have multiple things in a row, like this guy right here, we can come over to your ruler, and if you click on it, it'll add a line to it, and then of course you just right click on it to make it disappear. But you have a line like this right here, and this creates a snap to line. So that's cool because when you moving stuff around, this snaps to it. So that it gets exactly where you want it to go right there. And then of course you can go back, right and left on it. And this, so you can create your horizontal lines by clicking on the ruler on the right, and then you can create your vertical lines by creating a ruler on the left. One of the things that I really like to do as I go through and design is I go right to the middle, of course, and create one. And then I go half of the middle and half of that. And that helps me keep things correctly proportionate as I go through and design my websites. So as you can see, like right here, we've got the middle of this and the edge, and then also right over here. So that helps me to keep everything right centered on there. That's one of the cool tools that you can use with the ruler, creating those guidelines, and they are snap to guidelines as well. Fun feature. A good thing to remember with both the ruler and the grid lines is that if you click on them, they appear. You click on them, they disappear. The rulers are a really great tool to just help you make sure that your website is aesthetically pleasing to the eye. So those are cool tools, and I use them on every single site. The next buttons that we have are these little circular arrows going on right here. And this is a redo button and an undo button. And what that means is if you say you were to accidentally move something and it is no longer where you had it, then you could easily just click the undo button. And if you wanted to move it back, click the redo button. And then, I use the undo button a lot, even if you go through a series of different actions and you say you come in here and create then like the whole box for this YouTube video, and then I had put a little graphic behind it and then added the video to it and then decided that I didn't like any of it at all, you could just hit undo, undo, undo 3 or 4 times and it would just take that stuff away very quickly instead of going in and having to right click on every single item and hitting the trash can. Okay, the next item that we have is the Show Hidden Elements button. And so any of the elements that you have on your website, say all of a sudden I did not like this little green bar right here, I can right click on the green bar, and right down here at the bottom we have the crossed out eyeball. And if you click on that, it will go ahead and hide that item from your website. It's still there in case you want to bring it back later, but now it's hidden from view. And if you keep it hidden, it will not appear on the live version of your website. If you decide that you would like that item to come back, then of course you just come back up here, click on that, and then we come down and find the one that I had just done. You can preview it, and of course you can also just click the return. So there's a preview of what it looks like, and then you can also just click the return arrow, and that will return it to being visible on your site. To get rid of this drop-down menu, click on the eye again. The drop-down menu will recede back up into the toolbar. The one thing to remember with the hidden item feature is if you do choose to hide an item from your website, it is still part of the website. It is just not viewable on the live version of it. And if you come up here and return the item to your website, it will always return to the exact same place that you chose to remove it from. This is a great feature because it'll allow you to work with multiple layers in your website. If something's in the way and you just don't want to see it for the moment, you can hide it, and then you can always bring it back and know that it'll be exactly right there. While we're on layers real quick, another thing to talk about is right here. If I move that little bar down to the bonuses, we can see that it is behind the bonuses lettering, and that therefore is a layer behind a layer. And we have, if you have on your right click on any item, we have these 2 little selections right here, and this one is bring to top and this one's bring to the bottom. So if I wanted to bring that green bar to the top instead of the text, I could click on that right there, and then this green bar would come forward and the bonuses would be behind it. So I don't want to move my green bar, so I'm just going to click the undo button real quick. Right to the left of the hide items and show hidden elements button, we have the backlight button, and that is, of course, if you're working and something is too dark, you can click this button and it will lighten it up or darken it up depending on how many times you click it. That one's pretty simple and straightforward. It'll just backlight something so that you can see it better. Right next to that, we have this little change the borders. And so what this is interesting because any item that you click on, it will pull up the border around it for you so that you can see how big that item is. And when you click this little guy, it changes the colors of those borders. So say you are working, say this background was white, and I had those borders set to white, it would be really hard to see. And even now, right here, these electric green borders are a lot easier to see than those white borders were on my purple background. So if you just toggle through this guy a bunch of times, it changes the colors to various different things, and you can see, you will then be able to see those borders better. I like the green ones. Those ones are cool. The next menu we're going to jump over to is the top left right over here. This one is very simple and straightforward. This is the desktop view of your website or funnel. This is the tablet view of your website or sales funnel, and of course the smartphone view. if you click on any of these, you will then be working on that version of your website. Please keep in mind that as you go through between different things, your website will change and you have to edit appropriately to make your website correct on all the different devices. So they will appear differently. Things will get moved around. Obviously, you can see right here all of my little buttons got smushed into one place. So once you have a website up and done, and you want to go through and make sure that, then you want to go through and make sure that the tablet version is as you want it to be too, and also the mobile version as well. Yeah, as you can see here, my tablet version, I have not worked on it at all. It's all buggered up. My buttons aren't even close to in the same place or anything like that. So, okay, the last button that we have here is for the desktop setting only. This is 1240 pixels by 940 pixels, and that is the width of your, let's see, your grid lines here. So these guys right here, the two running parallel vertically, those are your grid lines again. And when you select this, it will change those grid lines. It'll make them closer in, further apart. And the reason that they have that option on here now is because where once there were only, 12-inch, 15-inch monitors, now we have people using their flat screen TVs as monitors. We have 17, 19, 21, 28-inch monitors for computers and laptops and everything. And so when you go through and change this up, it will either widen or narrow those grid lines for you and make it will change the way that the viewer sees the website depending on the size of their monitor. I personally always usually just keep mine at 1240 because it gives you a wider area to work with. And yeah. All right, the last item up here in the top menu bar, of course, is the page selector. And if you click on the little down arrow here, it will display for you all of the different pages that you have within this website. And this is a quick way to jump back and forth between those pages. So if I clicked contact here, it would take me over to the contact page, etc., etc. And then anytime you want to come back to your home page, you just drop this down, click home, and it'll bring you back to your home page. One of the reasons that this is cool is because all of the funnels that we are building with the Matt and Mac Show, you need to have your legal disclaimer and other things at the very bottom of your page. And so when you have those, it's just a little word down there, and somebody clicks on that word, it links them to another page. And to go in and edit that page and add all of your legal and stuff, this is where you would come to go over to that page. Moving on, next thing we're going to go over is the menu bar on the left here. All right, the first button at the top here is the page layout button, and people always get confused between the difference on these right here. And while this just takes you to the different pages, this actually gives you all of the information about the layouts of your pages and will display all of the pages within your website. So we've got our home page, our contact page, and then these are all of the pages for the store. And then if you come in here and click on the home page, you can configure some stuff in here, as well as right here on the home page we have the settings for it, and you can go in and change your favicon image. That's another video that we have with Matt and Mac Show. Check that out. That is a way for you to learn how to get your little graphic up here on the page tab. So in this button is the layouts, is all of the information about how the page is built. And we'll have the settings of the page, the background information, the tags, put your pixel headers and codes and stuff in here. So this is where you can go and edit all of those settings, while this over here is just a way for you to navigate within the editor to which page you're trying to edit. They are different. So there's a lot of extra settings and things that you can come in here and set for your websites and funnels. So we're not going to go over all these right now in this video, but we will have other videos that will go over those. Make sure you start to familiarize yourself with all of the options that you have available within the page layouts tool. The next tool that we have is the text tool. This is important to understand because each one of these different selections in here is basically like changing the CSS file behind your text within your website. And what that means is if you click on this guy and add text, it's going to be just this type of text. And where people go wrong is they think that in order to get text this smaller or bigger, they need to click on this and add it, click on this and add it, etc. That is not the case at all. If you use one of these, you can come in here and set it to exactly whatever kind of font you want. And then this is a way to keep that font consistent throughout your entire website, that makes your website or funnel easier for people to see and navigate through. If you want to change the size of your font, don't come in here and add a different one of these, because that'll add a different style of font to your website. To change the size of your text, you just merely come into your website in one of your boxes and double click on your text box, and that will bring up the text box menu. And this is just like in Microsoft Word. This is where you can go in and change the size of your font. You can change the type of font here. You can change the line height, bold, italicize, underline. Right over here is good to remember. A lot of people have problems with this. They can never figure out how to change the color of their font. So if you have your font highlighted and then come in here and select this little guy, this is how you would change the color of the font within that selection. You go in and change everything to red right there. And so that is key to remember with the text button, because you can go in here and have a whole bunch of different preset text styles that you like to add to your website, and then you can either keep your website consistent with one style, or you can have styles selected so you can change the style. Like say you had one style for, say you're creating a blog style website, and every single title you wanted to do in some kind of calligraphy or cursive or something, you can come in and select this, add a text box for the titles, and then you could have your body copy in a different, more readable style, and you would just select this, it'll add a box, and that way you're not always having to go back and forth between selecting between different types. So this is cool to know. And then again, double click on any of your text boxes to bring up your textual editor, and this is where you come in and you can do all of those things that Microsoft Word allows you to do. Another really good thing to know about text is, say I highlighted this word and wanted to create a link from it. You have to highlight a word or a whole line, whatever you want to do, and then you just click on this little guy right here. And then you can go for a web address. You can add a box where people can email you. If you go to web address and then put in a URL, anytime somebody comes to your website, when their mouse goes over this and they select that word, that will then link them to another website. So that is this little link guy right here. Also good to know. And remember, I don't want my everything to be red, so I'm just gonna click the undo button. All right, the next tool that we have on our left tool menu bar is the plus button, and this is where you will probably spend most of your time while you are creating websites or funnels. If you click this guy, this is how you then add elements to your website or funnel. Within this plus menu and the pop-up menu that comes from it, you can add pop-ups, text, auto funnels, tags, banners. Okay, remember, so now when you add a text box right here with this button, you have gone into the text before and pre-selected the style of text that you want. So anytime you click this text button, it will automatically put a text box with that style, that size, that color, etc. You can add boxes and lines. This is an example of a box right here. This gray guy behind the TV, that's a box. These are examples of lines. You can add buttons. These are examples of buttons right there. Images, of course, you can add There's images. There is a box right here, this purple box in the background for boxes and lines. Buttons, images, gallery. If you go to gallery, there is a bunch of pre-saved pictures that Builderall has for you. You can also upload all of your own photos to use. Obviously, these are our own photos that we're using right there. You can add menus to your website. Let's see here. Like this right here, you can't see it. Like right here, this is a menu. You can add audio and video files. Of course, all the way at the top, we have a video file that we added in. Social media. Let's see here. Social media menu buttons. And then you can go into the social media buttons. Of course, you right click, image, and then you come in here and select each of the social medias and then put links to your Instagram, a link to your YouTube, a link to your Twitter, blah, blah, blah. That makes these clickable and actionable. All right, moving right along. Where are we at? Social. Contact information. You can put in your email address, phone number, etc. and add email mail form. That's like this right here. Add a place where people can put in their email and then subscribe. Animated counters. You can add a countdown timer. Graphics for... I haven't used that one too much. I don't know too much about it. Apps. This is huge. Of course, check out Sales Funnel blog apps. We're going to go in and look at apps real quick. This little app section is really freaking cool because you come in here and you can add a PayPal button to your website or funnel. And if you have your PayPal linked and set up, this will automatically link to that. Make sure you go through and do all the settings properly. Don't just add a PayPal button and think that you're going to get paid. That you can add a PayPal button. You can add an HTML box if you have any other HTML code that you wanted to add into your website. You add a box there and use that. You can add a webinar platform. This is sweet because Builderall, of course, has a webinar builder right here. So if you go in and build out your own webinar, then on all of your websites and funnels, you can add in a button or a link that will take people from your website directly to your webinar. You can add in an e-learning platform. You can make courses. There is a GDPR app, which will make sure that this adds the pop-up cookie at the bottom and will also make sure that your website or funnel is GDPR compliant. You can add anchors. This one is cool. I enjoy this one because I'll show you real quick. Right here we have the little anchor. I do use them to separate the sections of the websites that I build. I think it's pretty cool. You can go into your little anchors. You right click on those. You can edit what they're called. Very fun. Okay, where were we? Within the apps, you can add a place for viewers, users to leave you a review. You can add a Shopify token to your website or funnel, and as well as open table reservations. Amazon coupons. So all of those are additional applications that are outside programs of your website. When you add them to your website, they're going to add another complete function of something else to the website. While your website or sales funnel is serving its function, if you add one of these apps to it, it brings an outside function onto your website for you. All very powerful, all good things to learn and know as much as you can about, because all of these will increase conversions, sales, your opportunities to make money with Shopify, Amazon, by providing a place for people to contact you, make reservations, etc. So again, yes, the plus button is where you will spend a lot of your time in the Builderall website. Drag and drop Builder or the Pixel Perfect Builder. There are so many tools in here for you to learn how to use. So many different things that are really, really cool for you to be able to add to your websites or sales funnel. I really like all that stuff. Okay, the next item on our left-hand tool menu is these little gears, and this is actually the settings in SEO for your website or funnel. This is where you would come in to configure all of those things. You can configure your GDPR. You can configure the language behind your app or your website. You can come in and change the languages of it. A sitemap will give you an overview of what the website looks, where all the elements are at. Platform settings. This is where you can go in and configure whether this site will be available on tablets and smartphones or not. Restricted area settings are for if you are setting up a membership site and want to, say, charge somebody before they get access to the next page of the website. You can you can add that here. Passwords, make a restricted area members site. User management is if you are going to have people sign up or register for a restricted area members area type deal for on your site, or if you are going to be selling things through your site. This is where you can collect that information. Manage user registration fields is where you can add additional fields if you're collecting information from people. So again, right down here at the bottom where we had email and subscribe, you could add in a address, a phone number, allow us to text you. That's where you would go to do that. Coupons is pretty straightforward if you're going to be adding discounted prices or anything. If you're going to be offering discounted prices on anything that you would be selling, or a discounted price on a registration for your restricted area or members site, you can. This is where you go in and configure that coupon. And then manage action counters is you would go in to manage all the different actions if you are going to set up click analytics for your website. Next item we have on the left is the shopping bag. This is where you will set up a product or a service on your website or funnel that customers or users can purchase. There are several different areas within here, including your payment manager, setting up your offer, whether that would be a service or a product, your sales manager, where you can go in and look at who bought what on your website. Your automated email sequence would be, an automated email that would go out immediately informing a person that they just purchased an item or a service through your website. And you can also manage external platform emails, which would mean hooking up your mailing boss autoresponder as well. The last one right here is sales funnel, and that is if you would like to add a sales funnel to a website or blog, links to that, and within that sales funnel then you could also additionally add any upsells or downsells to the product. The last two buttons that we have over here, this is adding a blog to your website or funnel, and this is cool because even though this is an additional totally different video, if you click this button, not only will it add a blog to your pixel perfect website or sales funnel, but it will also add all of the features that you need to edit the functionality of that blog, and there's everything that you need in order to maintain that as well. So there are a bunch more features within that we will talk about in a different video. The last item that we have down here is this is a little shopping cart guide. This is the e-commerce store, and again, just like with the blog, if you click this button, it'll have an ad store right here. You click that button, it will add all of the pages to the store. It will add your ability to go in and configure the store, edit it, create the whole store behind it. And so that adds, again, it adds another outside element to your pixel perfect website, just like with the blog, just like with the apps. And then those are totally different videos and a whole bunch more tools and fun stuff to learn. Okay, so that is it for our overview of the Pixel Perfect website builder within Builderall. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch today. My name is Matthew Miles. Again, you are watching The Matt and Mac Show. We really appreciate it. If you haven't done so, remember to click the like and subscribe button. Turn on the bell for notifications. Leave us some fun hashtags in the comments. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to comment on the video or go ahead and reach out and send us a personal message on Facebook or Instagram. We talk to people every single day on those platforms. People with questions, people that want to know how to change the background color of their website and can't figure it out. We're more than happy to help anybody. No question about this stuff is stupid. I love doing this stuff, and I love helping other people learn how to do it as well. So thanks again for watching. Be sure to stay tuned for future episodes from the Matt and Mac Show. Much love, everybody. I will see you in the next video, or I will see you somewhere around online. Have a great day.